What's up? What's up, YouTube? How y'all doing, man? Just been sitting up here for a minute. I decided first I wasn't going to do it, but Diddy's trial is coming up, and this is from that surprise witness. Yeah. So right now she's doing this intro. This is gonna be an hour-long video, live Diddy's hearing. You know, so she's gonna break down a lot of stuff about the hearing and all that stuff, man. And I really like her, man, because she studied some law and she come with facts and very little of her opinion. And when I'm doing my research, she's one of the main channels I turn to. So y'all hit that subscribe button and hit that bell, and let's do some research with Uncle Mike at that surprise witness. Let's do some reaction. Here we go,
Diddy
y'all.
hearing. We got a Diddy hearing coming up.
Coming up,
right now.
baby. It's coming
in
up.
1 minute. It's pre-trial. It's supposed to maybe be the last one. Could be the last one. Reason I'm saying that is because let me look at my calendar. The trial officially, starts on the 5th, which I think is maybe Monday. Yes, Monday is when the trial is going to start. But it's not opening statements. So it's not like really like the trial is starting. It's kind of like, that's not opening statements. It's voir dire. I don't know. I'm still like, my mind is still a little bit hung up on what I was doing right before this. I'm trying to get into Diddy land. So it's not opening statements that starts on Monday. It's actually just, what's it called? Voir dire. They're going to be asking the jurors some questions, and I'm also like very distracted because those lights behind me are green and they're supposed to be purple or pink. I don't know how that happened. They're haunted. I don't know. Anyway. Okay. So let me pull up Inner City Press. I have been kind of looking at the, outside the courthouse feed. Let me pull it up. Okay. So here is Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press. Okay. He was actually in the Weinstein trial earlier today. I don't think he's started to tweet about Diddy yet, but look, he was tweeting earlier. He was, before the break, he was in the Weinstein trial, but he's going to be in the Diddy one. He made a video and everything about it. I guess I'll pull his video up while we're waiting. This was it right here. Let me turn the volume up.
Inner City Press here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse. Today, Thursday, May 1, May Day, 2025. Now, today at 1 o'clock, there'll be one of the final pretrial conferences, or at least pre-jury selection conferences in U.S. versus Sean Combs. Diddy will be live tweeting it at 1 p.m. It has to do with some questions that they're going to want to start asking the jurors on May 5th, when they'll begin jury selection, which we'll also be doing. There's a gathering storm. The amount of interest is really pretty shocking. Meanwhile, we're obviously covering also the, could we call them the Trump cases?
Okay, so I think that was pretty much it about Diddy, but I do have the documents that they are arguing about. So I'll pull those up right now while I am waiting for the trial to start. Usually in my experience of following this case so far, it's usually about 10 at least minutes before it actually starts. Might even be up to 15 or so. And our friend Matthew Russell Lee at Inner City Press has not tweeted yet that he's in there. But the pretrial hearing is scheduled to start now. I'm pulling up some of the documents that they're going to be arguing about. Let me get this joint letter. Okay, so Diddy and
there's a certain amount of people that could be in the courtroom, and they're going to be tweeting, I'm assuming, and sending back and forth messages, I guess.
The feds, both sides, sent in a joint letter as was required by the judge. And okay. I have it up right here. Let me just double check one more time with this Twitter. I don't want to miss the start. Let's see. I'm going to do a little refresh. Oh my God.
Well, I keep forgetting to put this thing on. The microphone, baby. So
he's in there. Okay. I'm glad I checked. Okay, cool. Great. Ooh, got 2 tweets. Okay. Aren't y'all excited? I'm going to be sad when this trial is over. Okay, now who knows? Actually, it hasn't even started, girl. Let's get it started first. Okay, now at U.S. versus Sean Combs, Matthew Russell Lee says, hearing about questions to prospective jurors and about any plea offers made, ? Okay, so he's doing ? I do know for sure we are supposed to be hearing about the prospective jurors. Well, the prospective questionnaire that they're going to give to the jurors. But here's Matthew Russell Lee. And he has a lot more information than we do because he sits in there. He hears every word. He just kind of gives us the high points for on Twitter, the best he can, I'm sure. So Inner City Press, he says he wrote some books. And then there's another tweet here. Before Combs is brought in, his lawyers, Mark Agnifilo and Teeny Garagos, are chatting with prosecutor Maureen Comey by the lectern. His lawyer, Alexandra Shapiro, and another are over by the door to the holding cell. So they're waiting to walk in with Diddy. Okay. Nice. I'm going to go back to my little finding the... So this was the letter that they sent. It was just filed yesterday. Today is, yes, it was just filed yesterday. I'm going to show you all the document because this is the thing that they're going to be arguing about, or maybe are going to be arguing about. I'm pretty sure. Docket 308. Okay. So as you can see here, it says, Dear Judge, we write this joint letter following the parties' proposed voir dire requests from the government and the defense. The parties have met and conferred and note their agreements and their disputes below. The defense has no objections to the government's proposed questions. Let me just get to the parts where they disagree. Not a particular, it's some of the stuff I feel like y'all would think is very nitpicky. Like this one. This is a good example of that. Government's proposed question 29. The defense, that's Diddy's lawyers, objects to the sentence of this question that reads, quote, these searches were perfectly legal. The defense respectfully requests that the sentence be modified to read, quote, these searches were lawful instead of these searches were perfectly legal. He wants it to say these searches were lawful. Now I could get into analysis of why that is, and all of that. But look at this one. Y'all are going to think this is nitpicky. I know some of y'all are not, but the defense, Diddy's lawyer, objects to the inclusion of the word merely in the third and fourth sentences of this question. Diddy's lawyers respectfully request that the sentences be modified to read, would you be more likely to believe a witness solely because she testified under a different name? Because the sentence had said, would you be more likely to believe a witness merely because she testified under a different name? And I do see why that is. I did go to law school. I did also go to graduate school for linguistics. So these types of nuanced things jump out at me immediately. Merely means you're kind of giving a little bit more of a qualifier for that person. Like, oh, they only did that. It wasn't so bad. Versus based only on the one sole fact, it has a little bit less of a connotation, a little bit less of a bias. Let's head back over to Twitter and see if we have any more tweets from Matthew Russell Lee. Let's see if Diddy is in.
Man, none of that shit means nothing to me. Dude, just ask a question. Man, merely, possibility, closely, nearly, merely. Man, look, you got some problems. Let's handle it.
Is indeed bald-headed this time, because remember I had a prediction. It was like the first time it was like Diddy comes in, then the next time it's like, oh, he's salt and pepper, next time it's gray, and next time he's white hair. I'm like, next time he's gonna be bald.
Wow.
Okay, no more tweets yet. Let me pull that up though. Danica, member for 2 months, shout out to you.
Shout out to you. Now, before we go any
psychological further, Rachel says,
we got to get this thing together.
Well, some whole entire religions are like, in the beginning, there was the word. That's how important it is. What words we use and things like that. Okay. Well, we're getting off to a little bit of a slow start, but like I said, it's usually
slow in the beginning.
About 10 or 15 minutes after 1.
Yeah,
or excuse
slow.
me, 10 or 15 minutes after the time that it's scheduled to start. The most recent thing that we do have from Matthew Russell Lee is the most thing that we read. Let me pull up the outside the courthouse.
Damn. What courthouse? That's what I
So
need
we
to
can
look
get a
up.
little.
I need to look up what courthouse is this boy gonna be
Okay,
at.
wait, hold on. We got an article here. This is interesting. Oh, okay, this is really interesting. Let me show y'all. Okay. Diddy in court, judge to determine if rap mogul rejected plea deal before trial. What? This is the first I'm hearing of this. What does this mean? Prosecutors and lawyers for Sean Diddy Combs are preparing for the final hearing before his federal crimes trial. Diddy's attorneys and federal prosecutors are meeting with the judge today for one last pretrial conference days before his trial kicks off May 5th. Still up in the air are decisions about which expert witnesses will be allowed to testify during the trial, the jury questionnaire, as well as Combs's rejection of an apparent plea deal. Now, we did talk about this last time I did a live, or last time I did a video about this. There was something about a plea deal got mentioned. Other outstanding questions. Combs was arrested in September, which we know, subsequently charged with racketeering, ST, transportation. I'm going to watch the trial. What charges does he face? What was Diddy's plea deal? Okay. During an April 25th pretrial conference, a prosecutor said Diddy rejected a plea deal. The attorney did not share the terms of the plea offer, but indicated she wants the judge to confirm with Diddy directly that his lawyers told him about the offer and that he made the decision to turn it down. Okay. So there's there's certain rules to have a fair trial or whatever. I'm going back to Twitter to see if there's any new tweets. But y'all remind me if there's a new one. No, there's nothing new. Okay. So now there's rules to a fair trial. If you're just joining, hello, hi. If you wouldn't mind clicking the like button on the way in, that would be greatly appreciated. We are reading live tweets from inside of the courtroom. It is the last and final expected pre-trial hearing for Diddy. We are here. We've arrived. Everybody, put some clap emojis in the chat. We have been here for one whole year. Excuse me. A little parched.
Did? You okay, Did? Do your thing.
Good.
You okay? You all right in my book?
Okay.
Amen.
We're reading the tweets inside the courtroom, and I was just now talking about, the plea deals. Okay, so there's all kinds of rules. There's rules in place. There's rules in place for a fair trial to happen. And one of the rules is that every deal that gets presented or offered to a criminal defendant, it has to actually be presented to them. That's one of the professional rules of conduct, I know, for lawyers. So obviously the feds are not directly speaking to Diddy. They can only talk to his lawyers. So they're saying that they want confirmation today in court that Diddy actually heard the deal and he actually did himself reject the plea agreement or the plea offer. So they had offered him a plea deal, a plea agreement, whatever you want to call it, plea offer. And he allegedly rejected it. But obviously, again, it's not going to be Diddy calling up Maureen Comey and be like, I reject your offer. No, from the jail. No, it's going to be like Mark Agnifilo or Alexandra Shapiro or something like that. Right. So the prosecutors are seemingly asking, before we get on to all of this, and, before he declares mistrial all the way down in 3 years from now, and I never heard about that offer. Let's just get on the record that he heard the offer, which I'm sure he did. I don't know if we'll ever get the details of that. I don't know if that's standard. I really don't. I thought about asking one of my law school teachers. Not any. We got one 4 seconds ago. Got one. Sean Combs is brought out of the holding cell. He hugs Alexandra Shapiro, fist bumps with Teeny Garagos. Brian Steele is sitting to his left. Combs, white hair, Little white beard. Thank you, Inner City Press. I was wondering what color his hair was going to be today. Puts on reading glasses. I knew it. Every time he's in court, he gets older and more decrepit somehow in these descriptions. It's like salt and pepper, then it's gray, then it's white, then it's white hair, little white beard, and glasses. Next time I'm telling y'all he's going to be bald. So anyway, so this was like a minute ago now. This tweet came out. We are waiting for Judge 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗞𝗦. So the judge is probably in the back, vigorously, ferociously reading all of this stuff that just got filed. I mean, I've been trying to keep up with it. I've been trying to make. What the hell? Why is that trending?
Dude,
why is
Diddy
Ethan
going to
Klein
jail.
trending? Also, by the way, I was just on Twitter a minute ago and it was like Ethan Klein was trending. All right, let me refresh.
Offer him a plea
Nothing
deal.
new.
He turned it down.
Every time Diddy's in trial, he gets
Man, my shit is hurt.
he gets
My neck
older. I
hurt.
mean, not trial, excuse me. Every time he's in this courtroom, he gets older. Let me retweet this one. Breaking news. That's what I'm going to say. Breaking news.
Oh my God, man.
Live from court. Oops. Diddy now has white hair and I can't see because my microphone's saying something like little white beard.
Let me see, can I rock this X?
Does that mean like a goatee?
I don't
Little
know
white
about
beard.
X.
And needs glasses. Y'all, I know y'all see that monitor right there next to me. I just had to get a new monitor for many reasons, but
Loading X.
I feel like I'm having to squint more. I hope I don't need reading glasses soon because that's going to cause issues with the glare from the lights I have to use to make these videos. Next, I know, seriously, next he's going to be up rolling in on a gurney. All right. I'm going to refresh. I don't think probably anything new because they're just waiting for the judge to get in. Let me pull this other document up, at least to the side, so that I can tell y'all some of the other stuff they were disagreeing on. Like a lot of this stuff is just kind of like the wording of questions. How I showed y'all, if you're just joining, hi, hello. One of the things that they're going to be discussing at today's hearing is this proposed jury questionnaire. Okay, so before the jury members are selected, they got to go through a process, and that's how they get narrowed down. So there's a bunch of questions that pretty much get asked of every juror ever, right? Name, age, where, and all that. But then there's other stuff that's like trial specific. The attorneys on both sides can strike jurors for different reasons. They get a certain amount of strikes for different reasons. And there's really a science that goes into this. I mean, they hire experts on experts, psychologists, psychiatrists, behavioral analysts to help them to pick the jurors. Both sides do this, I'm sure. Definitely the defense would be doing this if I had to guess. They have whole mock fake trials. They have whole entire fake trials that they run with jurors, like people that sit and pretend to be a juror. The people get up, they perform like it's a practice round, like on these high stakes trials like this. Yes. There's like mock trial rooms in certain law firms. Sometimes it's pretty serious. And a lot of times it comes down to this extremely minute stuff that doesn't seem like it would make such a big deal, such a big difference. But I mean, it could, it really could. Let's, refresh. I don't want to miss anything here. The last thing that was tweeted was Diddy is decrepit and old. Woo! The last thing that was tweeted was Diddy hugged his lawyer, fist bumped the other lawyer, sat down next to the third lawyer. He has white hair, a little white beard, and he needs glasses, and they're waiting for the judge. So that was a few minutes ago. That was about 5 minutes ago that got. I'm reading his other tweet right here, but that got tweeted. So what are some of the other things they're disagreeing about? Let's see. The searches were legal. The order of the questions they're disagreeing on as well. The government wants certain questions to come first before others. Diddy wants some questions to come first before others. Now, on this joint letter that they submitted just yesterday and is going to come up today, they do also put in some places where they agreed with each other. So they agreed to change the wording. Like Diddy's lawyer changed the wording of some of his questions. The government appears to have also changed the wording of some of their questions, kind of meeting in the middle. So it does seem like they are working together a little bit. Now I do want to bring to y'all's attention this specific thing here, but first let me make sure we're not missing anything. This is the most important thing right here is right now, this is the point of order, or the issue at, or whatever the Robert's rules way to refer to this is, whatever the point at issue. That's what it is. The point at issue, the most important priority right here is going to be following these tweets. I'm going to do some side, entertainment. We'll go on some rabbit holes and do some catch ups and stuff on different documents here and there. But don't worry, my priority is going to be reading these tweets. These are tweets that are coming from inside the courtroom right now as we speak, 1:18 p.m. Eastern, Thursday, May 1st Eastern. Thursday, May 1st, 2025. We have Inner City Press Matthew Russell Lee inside the courtroom. He's an independent journalist. He writes also as an author. He writes books. He's a musician. He's an artist. He writes songs about these cases. There was one stuck in my head the other day, the Diddy Do It. He has a song and it goes, Diddy Do It. And he's like playing the acoustic guitar. Diddy Do It. It was stuck in my head the rest of the day. I love this guy. We've never spoken. I don't like him. I don't know him like that is what I meant. But I do love him. He is so cool. Okay. So that's whose tweets we're reading. And the last one came, about 7 minutes ago. The judge hasn't come in yet. So if you're just arriving, hi, hello. If you wouldn't mind clicking the like on your way in. It's up. What's up? I don't know what you mean when you said it's up. I like that song. I know, right? He is quirky and smart. I do like that song. It is funny. It did get stuck in my head. I will admit it got stuck in my head that day. That part and the little, I wish I could play guitar, but then I wouldn't probably even be able to because I have these nails anyway. Okay. Yeah, nope, nothing new. I guess the judge still hasn't been in here yet. What else are they disagreeing on here? Oh yeah. Let me just, pull this down and show y'all something while we're waiting. Now, I got a lot of comments yesterday, like almost so many that looked exactly the same. Like it could have maybe been like bots or something. Who knows? But I got a lot of comments yesterday. I need to tell y'all something. A lot of people yesterday were very upset with me for so much as having empathy for another human being, even though I also admitted that if he did and is found guilty of what he is accused of, he should be underneath the jail. Despite the fact I said that, despite the fact I obviously have a lot of sympathy for any victim, especially somebody who was like criminally victimized, of course, despite the fact I said that, people were telling me I shouldn't have, any empathy for Diddy, which that part, that's fair. But then so many people commented some most grotesque and detestable stuff, y'all. They were saying, somebody said, you wouldn't feel sorry for, I'm going to tell y'all, you wouldn't feel sorry for Diddy if you were in a cold tunnel with your insides laying next to you. What the fuck? Excuse me. What the freak? What? There were other people that were like, another comment that was like, it's like very extreme, like grotesque stuff. If he did, I can't even say it, but like they were talking about like like holes. They were talking about things getting in, like they were talking about things that were so grotesque. Like it was almost like it was like bots that were trying to shock me or maybe trying to get my channel flagged or something. I've hid those bots from my channel. But a lot of these comments, I would say I got a half dozen comments that were like, think about the minor victims. He victimized children. And they were saying it with such conviction and certainty that I was like, is there a minor victim I'm missing? Let me just show y'all this voir dire thing that I'm reading off of. This is one of the things that's going to come up at issue. It's the reason we're having a pretrial hearing at all today is this document. So let me pull it up. Or not this document, but this document pertains to the same issue, I should say.
Okay.
Okay, and look at this. This is page 4 out of 5. It's the voir dire questionnaire. Look, it's the letter. This is our proposed requests from the government and the defense. This is Diddy's side. And then here's the government's, right? Okay, so once you get into the government's position, this is the government, okay? These are the ones who are charging Diddy, is the government, right? Look at this. The alleged victims are adults. The alleged victims are adults. So listen, I'm with y'all. If Diddy did it, especially to a child, put him under the jail. You're not going to put him under the jail. Take him back out back around the, shed or whatever they do in New York legally. But he isn't even charged with child abuse. If he did do that, he should be charged with it. And if the statute of limitations has run out, you need to ask yourself why that is. Nobody knew Diddy was doing any of that. I'm not saying he did, but people were saying I shouldn't feel sympathy for him specifically because he abused children. I'm like, he's not even charged with that. And again, it could be bots. It could be bots. I mean, I did read that study from the University of Zurich that they were experimenting on the Redditors, and the Redditors didn't even know. Let me pull the Twitter back up and see if Matthew Russell Lee has tweeted anything else, if the judge has gotten inside the courtroom yet or not. Yeah, no, I'm telling y'all stuff like that because I want to tell y'all my suspicions, and I also it's for my safety. I mean, like, that almost felt like weirdly, like, could have been like a threat or something. Like, my insides are next to me in a cold tunnel. That's like very specific. Okay. Actually, I have a screenshot of it and I'm going to look it up on our next break. I'm going to tell y'all the username of the person, because if the FBI needs to start looking into it, if y'all start hearing that I SUI, say, no, she did not. No, she did not. She ain't doing that. Okay. Here we are. Let's see if anything else has been. No. Nothing else has been tweeted yet. So it is 1:24 p.m. The judge does appear to be running a little bit late. Even survivors have to learn forgiveness or else hate will eat you alive, Oxy says. Right. I mean, and this is another one too. The devil. A lot of these comments say the devil. He is the devil. He is the devil. He is the devil. The man is pure evil. That's another one. I think 8 or 9 comments in a row said pure evil. That was a little bit of a giveaway. Shed tears for the victims. Shed tears for the victims. That was like a specific quote that kept coming up 3 or 4 within like an hour. Shed tears for the victims. Like, that's kind of a weird way that a human wouldn't, like, maybe a human, maybe 2 human, maybe even 3, but like a bunch in an hour. Shed tears for the victims seems like y'all might have coded your bot to say it that way. It's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Yeah. Are YouTubers not allowed to say the victims' name? They haven't said the victims' names. Foxy, we don't know the victims' names. And by we, I mean you, none of us. I mean, unless you're in the case somehow. Empathy and sympathy are 2 different things. Yeah. I'm not sure I know exactly the difference, but I heard they're different. Yeah, seriously, it really is. At the end of the day, that's the other thing too. It is also about the legal facts of the case. It really isn't about what I feel about it. And that's really not about what y'all feel about it. It really isn't. It's about the legal facts of the case. And I've just seen it happen too much where people get too tied to invested in a certain opinion. And then whenever facts do come up that should make them reassess their opinion, they won't even reconsider it, much less change it. And I'm just not trying to get into that level of like non-existent neuroplasticity personally. So like, if y'all want to go to a channel of like people who just like to just like only like stick to one position no matter what new facts come their way, like, woo girl, that's not this channel. That's not me. There's a lot of them though that just like no matter what, they're going to be bashing whoever it is, Diddy, whoever, insert whoever. Y'all can go watch those. I don't care. That will not bother me in the least. I won't even notice. Hassie's friend. Number 2. Okay, Foxy says number 2 is Bana. Bana. I remember reading about her. This name sounds familiar. Did she do an interview? Yup, late. Okay, bye, Shannon. I don't care. No one's gonna miss you. Bye. Everyone tell Shannon H bye. Bye. Make sure you hit the unsubscribe on your way out. I don't want you to come back, Shannon H. Bye. Anybody else? Yeah, she was hung from a balcony. Isn't that crazy? Okay, let's refresh. We're running a little bit late, Judge Subramanian. My God, it is 1:30. I'm going to tweet in 15 minutes. I'm starving. I'm starving for a tweet. It's not Matthew Russell Lee's fault. Okay, so Foxy is saying all the names have been previously mentioned. Yes, shout out to y'all for saying bye to Shannon H in the chat. Bye. Put the wave emoji in the chat. Who else? I don't think the bots understand or the trolls understand that I actually get a dopamine kick from hiding people from my channel. I like have a reverse wiring. Like when people are like, I used to like your videos, but now I don't. I'm like, thank God it isn't, you know, like a one thought echo chamber. Bye. Get out of here. Thank you. Goodbye. But now I don't. I used to like it, but now I'm unsubscribing. Make sure you unsubscribe from my other channel too. I actually get happiness from it. Go away. Like the less like bad, shitty energy around me, the better. The less bad energy and evil eye directed at me, the better. So you can go. You can please. You are invited to go.
Wow.
I'm waiting for them to start, you know, tweeting about what's going on in the trial. If you're just getting here, it's if you're just getting here, hello, hi. The most recent thing that we learned, we only have 3 tweets so far. The hearing was scheduled to start 30 minutes ago. And I've just been kind of trying to keep everyone entertained. But we've talked about a few different things. The main item up at issue today is really the most urgent, is that the jury selection is going to start on Monday. It's going to start on Monday. So when that happens, they're going to have to read this questionnaire. And there are some last minute disagreements that the 2 different sides are having on the questionnaire. So that's what we're going over right now. They are going over right now, and we are reading live tweets from Matthew Russell Lee. But he has tweeted, let me pull it up. Okay. At first, he tweeted, you know, that he was there. And then before Diddy was brought in, the lawyers were just kind of chilling. And then the 2 sides were talking to each other, the prosecutors and Diddy's lawyers. Diddy is brought out of the holding cell. He hugged his lawyer, fist bumped the other lawyer. Brian Steele is there in court. I don't know if Agnifalo's here. Maybe Agnifalo's busy with Luigi Mangione. Maybe that's why Brian Steele had to get brought on here. Because I know that now they're charging Luigi Mangione in the same courthouse with federal crimes and seeking the death penalty. And Mark Agnifalo is also the lawyer on that case as well, with his wife, Karen Friedman Agnifalo, excuse me. Diddy also, breaking news, if you're just getting here, Diddy has white hair and a little white beard and reading glasses. He needs reading glasses. Can y'all imagine Paw Diddy? Paw Diddy in the house. I can't wait to see the court sketch. Let me look up and see. They usually don't come out until like a few hours after the hearing. Let's see. Diddy court sketch, May 1st, 2025. I want to see the glasses. No, y'all. The last court sketches that we have, you can watch his hair graying as the court sketches go. Look. These first ones, his hair was black. Then it started turning salt and pepper. And now it's white. Now it's this. Please. Now it's this. Oh, man. Oh, my Lord. Diddy, do it. Diddy, do it. Also today, if you're just joining, we may end up hearing a little bit about a plea offer that was made to Sean P. Puff Daddy Combs. Mr. Lord, thank you for the $10 super chat. Oh my gosh, Danica, I did not even see. Thank you so much for the 50 MX. How dare you think and feel differently than other people? I know, girl. How dare. You made your thoughts on Diddy's alleged crimes clear. Indeed. And he should be under the jail. Thank you for the 50 MX. Thank you, Mr. Lord, again for the $10. And Tara, thank you for the $2. Thank you. And you're welcome for the work. It's my pleasure/honor. Nope. Do not dox. This is a great announcement. Thank you, Oklahoma Outlaw. Do not dox. Do not contact or harass anyone mentioned in the live stream. Thank you very much. You know, I keep looking at these lights behind me. They're green and they're not supposed to be. They're supposed to be purple. I mean, it was getting a little bit overwhelming with the purple. I mean, it's fine that they're green, but it's kind of like I didn't change them to green. So when did they turn? I don't know. Why are they green? And is giving a little bit Cosmo and Wanda. That's what I keep thinking. Ever since I saw this and that, I'm like, it's my fairy godparents. Fairly odd parent. Thank you, Melanie Green, for the $6.99 Canadian. Wow, y'all have some stuff going over there, huh? In Canada right now, isn't there like some political stuff, some political goings on? Okay, let me refresh the Twitter, y'all. I mean, the judge is 30 minutes late. Okay, all rise. Thank God. 35 seconds ago, all rise. Oh, shoot, I didn't. All rise. There you go. Judge Summarian, I've been planning to have prospective jurors in groups of 40. Assistant U.S. Attorney, some might drop out. Judge said, okay, 45. Will you ask questions to follow up on the questionnaires? The judge said yes, if there have been any changes. Okay, that's all we got. We waited 20 minutes. But it should get going now. I don't know. I think I need to turn this light on or something like. I need to get my lighting situation figured out. Obviously, that one over there is haunted. Okay, so this ain't even plugged in. Girl. One of these days. All right, let's see if anything else has been tweeted. No, nothing else. Ooh.
Man, I've been sitting here trying to get this extra work.
Thanks so much, Shay Fabs, for the $19.99 super sticker. Shout out to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. These super stickers and super chats really do help a lot. I need to make a payment to my lawyers, so it'd be great if y'all wanted to, if you were so inclined. There's the legal fund is linked down below too if you want to make a donation to that. The lighting's fine. Thank you, Surf. It just like I start watching my videos back. Sometimes it's like the lighting changes so much over the course of the video and it's aggravating. Yeah, the Fairly Odd Parents, right? Thank you so much, Katie did for the $4.99 super sticker. Yes, Slay. Yes, Slay. Okay, let's see. I'm refreshing. Oh, yes, we have another one. 34 seconds ago. The Assistant U.S. Attorney, the feds, say as follows. We'd like to ask some more questions about possible bias. The judge said, can you give me a list of jurors by number? And the question numbers. We wonder if after... Okay. All right. Okay. Got it. Sorry. I needed to read it myself first to understand what was going on. Okay. So the Assistant U.S. Attorney says, we want to ask some more questions. And the judge is like, which jurors do you want to ask more questions to by number? Give me the number. Because jurors have number. Like, you know, they have which number you talking about? The Assistant U.S. Attorney said, the question numbers, we wonder if after the one-on-one sequestered questioning, so it has been ruled that the jurors, as they're asking them their questions, are going to be by themselves, out of the presence of other jurors. So after that, after each individual one, the Assistant U.S. Attorney is like, okay, so after the questioning, we can make motions to exclude these jurors for cause, which is one of the grounds on which they can move. There's different grounds. Okay, so 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦, 37 seconds ago, he asked the judge, are you planning to question jurors without Diddy present? The judge said, yes. Are you on board? So the judge, okay. So 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦 asks the judge, whoa. Hold on, Your Honor. Hold on. Are you trying to tell me you're about to ask the jurors questions yourself without the defense here? And the judge is like, yeah, you have a problem with that? And 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦 is like, yeah, I do have a problem with that. He says, quote, with respect, no. These sequestered questions are good ones. It's one position that Mr. Combs would have to be present. Okay, so he's saying, no, Diddy has to be present. I need to start writing these questions down because I'm going to actually, I'm going to reach out to one of my law school professors and ask, like, what is the deal with this? Is it unusual for, like, I don't know the specifics. Like, what does this mean? The judge wants to ask questions like after the sequestered questioning, and is that normal? What would he possibly ask? Is it normal? Like, because 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗞𝗦 is just so brazen. He'll ask for anything. You never know what he's talking about, if it's a good thing, if it's a bad thing. You know, the way he makes it seem, you'll be agreeing with him. Then you hear the government side and you're like, whoa, hold on. I mean, case in point was that legal notepad. Remember the legal pad? It said legal on the top, and it did not. So I don't know, right? But 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗞𝗦 was like, no, you can't ask questions outside of the presence of Diddy and me. I don't know if that's normal, or not. I don't know if he's just, being an alarmist. I'm writing the question down so I can ask one of my law school teachers. Okay, let's see if anything else has been tweeted. Maybe we'll get a little clarification. Put a 333 in the chat if you're ready for the trial to start. You know who would be a good one to ask this to if my teachers don't reply is Emily D. Baker, because she was a prosecutor, wasn't she? Or was she a defendant? She was a prosecutor, wasn't she? I don't remember now. She worked as a DA, right? That is a prosecutor. In any event, I think she has like this trial knowledge. Like, I don't know if this is like, this is way outside my area. Okay, so that's the most recent tweet. Is the judge saying that he had planned to question jurors? I mean, this is like, we can follow the thread down, right? All rise. Here's the judge. I've been planning to have the prospective jurors in groups of 40. And then the assistant U.S. attorney's like, some of them might drop out. And he's like, okay, fine, 45. And then, okay. And then the assistant U.S. attorney is like, are you going to ask to follow up on the questionnaires? And the judge is like, yeah, if y'all have changed stuff. And we want to ask some more questions about possible bias, is what the assistant U.S. attorney said. So so they want to ask some more questions. And the questions that the U.S. attorneys want to ask more questions about, like the topic that they want to ask these questions about, is about potential juror bias. I mean, this is reading tea leaves. Okay. This is how it's going to have to be through the whole trial. So 1,500 people in the chat. Shout out to y'all. I am doing my best. Okay. This is the best I can do. I mean, I'm just reading tweets from someone inside the court room. I mean, y'all let me know if anybody's going to be going. Cause I mean, I think if there's like 4 or 5 people tweeting, that's better. Cause we could be going through page after, each person, we could be going through tab after tab and seeing, different people picking up different things. Like the first day of the Weinstein hearing, that's what was going on. And that was really cool. There was 2 people tweeting, 2 tweeting, and then 1 was doing live updates. And it was like something coming in all day. Okay. So the judge he has spoken. We have a new tweet. The judge says, we're 2 courtrooms and 2 jury rooms. We just need to have this ready to go for Monday. The assistant U.S. attorney said, I don't think the marshals could take Mr. Combs to a jury room, and we'll need to seal sensitive material at the sidebar. Okay, so it does appear from that answer, and again, just letting y'all know, this is not my area of expertise in any way. I do not have any special knowledge on this like jury selection process. I studied it, I took the bar, I passed, and I haven't thought about it that much since. But we are 2 courtrooms and 2 jury rooms. So if Diddy wants to be in the presence of every question that's asked, which I guess apparently he may have the right to do, that seems, I gotta ask somebody about this. Maybe I'll ask my friend. We just need to have this ready to go for Monday, the judge is saying. And then here's the assistant U.S. attorney. I don't think Diddy can go into a jury room. And we need to seal sensitive material at the sidebar. I don't know. I'm sure that Matthew Russell Lee is going to make a a video afterward. I mean, I kind of get the gist of what's going on. The gist is that the government wants to ask some more questions. There's some type of space limitation. There's some type of, time crunch, and they need to start the jury selection process on Monday. They're working out the logistics of it. And there are still some disagreements over exactly what questions are going to be in the questionnaire for voir dire. Actually, I think the actual questionnaire has already started. I think that started being administered the last 2 days. And I think that's why the judge already has juror numbers. And I also think that's why the prosecutors saying they want to ask more questions. But I think there's a next step to after the questionnaire. You can strike some people before they even come in, probably with what they say on the questionnaire. You can imagine somebody writes in there, I am Diddy's biggest fan of all time. Please let me be on the jury. You don't really have to get far past that. I forgot to finish my banana. I've been trying to eat fruit every day.
I need to eat some fruit. I need to eat something more healthier.
Okay, we have a new one.
Okay.
Combs' lawyer, 𝗟𝗚𝗡𝗞𝗦, speaks up. Seconds ago, in the Shkreli case, oh my God, now we're talking about Martin Shkreli. Y'all remember him? He overpriced insulin or whatever he did. Insulin was 75 cents and he made it $75,000 or something really crazy. It was this guy. I don't think his criminal charges were they related to that? I don't even know. That was such a blur. That was from the before times in my mind. Okay, so 𝗟𝗚𝗡𝗞𝗦 says, okay, so in the Martin Shkreli case, we allowed a press person to come to the sidebar. But here, there will be more personal information from the jurors. This is interesting. Okay, so breaking, if you're just joining, hi, hello. This is Diddy's lawyer saying that, Your Honor, sometimes we let the press go to the sidebar where there's information, like the side, during the questionnaires or during the voir dire. But here, there's going to be more personal information from the jurors. So I'm assuming that 𝗟𝗚𝗡𝗞𝗦 is saying we don't want the press over there. It is interesting that they're still able to get away with not having even audio. Can you even imagine if even they would let us have audio from inside of there? Someone even said it the other day, and I don't want to bark this argument too loud because I don't want to jinx it. But just between us over here on this channel, he's live tweeting from inside the courtroom anyway. What would be the difference if anyone were just allowed to broadcast even just the voice? That would be better than what we have now, which is literally nothing. Actually, no, it's intercity. Citizen journalists have to go and do their best. So, I mean, I am a little bit surprised that, in a case such as this, it's not. Sometimes, not made, exceptions aren't made. Okay, so now he's tweeting about something else. Ukrainian citizen arrested in Spain, extradited to the U.S. Okay, he's following a lot of cases all at once. So the most recent tweet was a comparison of the Diddy case to the Martin Shkreli case. Martin Shkreli is that it was 5 seconds before Crypto Bros started. I think he's a traditional finance bro. Martin Shkreli. This guy, y'all remember him? Remember him? Oh, I spelled his name wrong, but you get the gist. Oh, he was on DJ. Please. American investor and businessman. He had MSMB capital management. Oh, wait a second. Martin Shkreli? Is this Gary V? Why does he keep popping up? Listen, I would not ever accuse someone of doing something. And then I would always say everybody's innocent until proven guilty. But y'all, this Gary V gives me hives. Okay. Okay. 20 seconds ago, we got another tweet. 𝗟𝗚𝗡𝗞𝗦 still talking. We do not want our friends from the press to come to the sidebar. We think we can do it in this case. We can overcome the First Amendment issue. This is interesting. The assistant U.S. attorney then said, we did this in U.S. versus Ghislaine Maxwell. And then, of course, Inner City Press read the book on that too. I wonder how many books he's written.
Sir? Miss her?
So
How about her mom?
Yeah, I miss her mom.
it appears that from this tweet, all I'm doing is, reading this tweet, but it appears from this tweet that we don't want our friends from the Agnifilo is saying we do not want the press at the sidebar. And it appears that the assistant U.S. attorney is also saying they don't want the press at the sidebar. So it appears that they're on the same side of this issue. So it really would have to come down to the judge saying, no, the press needs to be at the sidebar. And usually if both sides agree like this, I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of judges being like, oh yeah, public has a right to see the sidebar. If both sides are saying they don't. But importantly, you do see Mark Agnifilo, you do see Mark Agnifilo bringing up the First Amendment issue. And there is a First Amendment, right to freedom of the press, which is, I'm assuming, what he's talking about here. Again, I'm just reading tea leaves, trying to, get to the heart of what they're talking about based on these tweets. 26 seconds ago, we have another one. The judge said, I'm okay with that. Okay, so there will be no press. See, that I expected the judge not to be like, no, you have to let the press if both sides agree. He says it might take longer than 3 days. Judge Nathan did it in 3 days in Maxwell. We are conferring about the list of people and places. We understand there may be additional defense counsel. More lawyers for Diddy are coming on. Who's it going to be? 𝗗𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦? Hey, my Lord, y'all. This is something else. Okay, so we don't want the press to come because we don't want them over here. It's going to be sensitive information. That's what Agnifilo said. And then right after that, you have the government agreeing, the feds agreeing. The judge said, okay, that's fine. No press at the sidebar. But it might take longer than 3 days. I don't know what that is about. I don't know what the 3 days is about. But however long it takes is however long it takes. The trial, the opening statements are not scheduled to start for another basically 2 weeks, a little less than 2 weeks. May 12th. May 12th is when they're scheduled to start. Let me see what day of the week that is. Opening statements. Monday. Okay, so on Monday, so they have a week to pick the jury. Starting Monday. And then the next Monday is when opening statements start. And I'm going to be locked and loaded. I'm going to have my coffee. I'm going to have my beverage. I might even go get a Stanley cup. Okay. I'm not doing that, by the way. Maybe a Yeti. Those don't have lead in them as much, I heard. Okay. I just refreshed 17 seconds ago. Yes. Breaking news, everybody. Breaking news. This is Agnifilo talking. We intend to add 2 lawyers. We will do it tonight. Okay, y'all. Turn the notification bell on. Turn the notification bell on because tonight we're going to get an announcement. Diddy's getting 2 more lawyers, and I just have a feeling that it's going to be some high. What if it's Busby? No, I'm just kidding. It could.
She said, what if it's Busby? Yeah. Busby's a lawyer. Man, that'd be a hell of a twist. Boy, that's funny. You shocked me on that one.
We're going to get an announcement.
Hey.
Diddy's getting 2 more lawyers, and I just have a feeling that it's going to be some high. What if it's Busby? No, I'm just kidding. It couldn't be. That would be such a conflict. Okay, my colleagues in the press have been writing a lot of stories. So please ask the jurors if they've read about the case since the questionnaire. The judge said, we'll add it. Okay, so the judge is adding questions to the questionnaire if they've read about the case since the questionnaire. I think that already was in there. Our friends in the press, they're saying, our friends in the press. Might take longer than 3 days. All right, so that's the most recent one we get. Agnifilo, we're going to add 2 lawyers. Breaking news, 2 lawyers are getting added tonight on the Diddy docket for Diddy.
Okay.
For Diddy on his side. Who's it going to be? He already got Young Thug's lawyer. Brian Steele just came on the case. Watch him hire Johnny Depp's lawyer and the Russ trial lawyer. Those 2 would be like, what's the one's name? Camila? What if he's going to add Camila? What's her name? Camille Vasquez and the man's name. You see which one I care about. But he was good. He was a good lawyer. Okay, I just refreshed. That's the most recent tweet we have. So breaking news if you're just joining. Diddy's lawyers have announced that tonight on the docket, today, we're going to see the addition of 2 new lawyers for Diddy. I don't know why. I feel like it's going to be some high profile. It's going to be something. It's going to link the web all linked together. I'm logging into the Diddy docket right now to see if anything's been filed. Because sometimes they file stuff like before the hearing, but it doesn't go through till, whenever it goes through, it takes a minute. So I'm while we're waiting for the next tweet, I'm just looking up the Diddy docket. Now I do want to show y'all this right here while I have you. You see all these right here? Appeals, this Doe v. Combs, Doe v. Combs, Doe v. Combs. These are Jane Does who are suing Diddy through Tony Busby. And the judges at the lower level have decided that they cannot move forward with their claims unless they go by their names. They have not granted them permission to go by Jane Doe. So these 3 different Jane Does have now appealed to the appeals court to try and get the appeals court to allow them to move forward as Jane or John Doe instead of their real names. I am just going to check the Diddy docket here to see if anything's been filed because I want to know who's the new lawyers. I don't think it's filed yet. He just said it in the hearing that they're going to file it tonight or later today. No, nothing new. Okay. Back to Inner City Press Twitter. Let's see if he said anything else. Yes, he has. Okay. So now they're going to move on. Addendum. As Inner City Press. Okay. Two tweets we have. Addendum. As Inner City Press previously reported, would be asked, it happened. Okay. Ding. Yes, Slay. You were right. As Inner City Press previously reported. Okay. So the judge asked Diddy about the plea offer. The judge asked Diddy if he rejected a written plea offer from the government, and Combs said, quote, yes, I did. Okay, good. The judge then said, what about the requested gag order? Now, if you don't know what that is, Diddy has requested that the witnesses' lawyers be refrained from talking. And he mentioned 2 in particular. Lisa Bloom, who's representing Don Richard in a civil case, which perhaps Don Richard may be one of the witnesses here. I don't know. That part is speculation. And he also called out Douglas Wigdor, who is notoriously known as being Cassie's lawyer, Douglas Wigdor. So Diddy has asked for a gag order on Douglas Wigdor, Lisa Bloom, and any other lawyers who are representing victims, alleged victims, or witnesses in this case. The judge turns and says to Diddy's lawyers, what about the requested gag order? Diddy's lawyer says, Lisa Bloom's statements may have violated the rules. The judge says, I remind everyone they are required to comply with the local rules before making any further public statements about this case. So I bet Lisa Bloom is in the courtroom. Because the judge is saying, I remind everyone they are required to comply with the local rules before making any further public statements about this case. So it does seem like the judge is kind of saying, Lisa Bloom. You know, Lisa Bloom is actually Gloria Allred's daughter. They're both like these civil rights, really women's rights attorneys. And in the same world, a lot of people don't know they're related. But yes, Gloria Allred is actually Lisa Bloom's mother. Lisa Bloom is representing someone who's suing Diddy. Don Richard is suing him. And it's probably my favorite Diddy civil case because I have a personal bias. Don Richard is suing Diddy's longtime business manager, or like one of his managers in this capacity, like probably accountant or whatever, TriStar Sports and Entertainment. This woman is so connected. If you've watched my videos, you know Lou Taylor owns that one. And so Don Richard's suing Diddy and TriStar and some other people. I think she mentioned UMG, Lucian Grange, the rest of them. I don't know. It's hard to keep up. But her lawyer in that case, Lisa Bloom, Gloria Allred's daughter. But then we also have Douglas Wigdor. I'm
Mm.
not sure exactly what Lisa Bloom said, if it was that she was on a documentary. Okay, that was it, y'all. That was it. So the judge did not grant the gag order. The judge did not grant the gag order, but he did sort of, you know what I mean? Watch your mouth, Lisa Bloom, you know what I mean, kind of thing. So it doesn't look like the judge took a lot of meaningful, I don't want to say meaningful, like he didn't take a meaningful look at the questionnaire differences. Remember, I told y'all there was like a 5-page letter. If you've been watching since the beginning of this live stream, there was like a 5-page letter, joint letter sent by both sides, Diddy's side and also the feds. And in the joint letter, they were really nitpicking over some of the wording of some of the questions. It doesn't seem like the judge really got down into that sort of nitpicky type of detail in this hearing. The hearing only lasted 20 minutes. If you're just getting here, I'll go over the high points. Diddy has white hair and a white beard, and Diddy's got white hair and a white beard, and he's wearing reading glasses to read. Okay, and a little white beard too. At that, he's doing that. The judge is going to call in prospective jurors in groups of 45, and he's going to ask follow-up questions on the questionnaires. The judge was going to ask questions of the jurors outside of the presence of Diddy, but Diddy's lawyer's like, no, you're not going to be doing that, sir. So somehow they're going to have to, that is going to make Diddy have to stay in one room the whole time, which means that it might take longer, because they had the 4 rooms or whatever. But then the assistant U.S. attorney was like, Diddy can't just be traipsing all through every room and all of that. So it could take up to 3 days. They're going to start on Monday. Hopefully they're done by Friday, because the next Monday is going to be opening statements are going to start. Oh my God, I cannot wait for opening statements to start. It's going to be crazy. Combs' lawyer, 𝗟𝗚𝗡𝗞𝗦. Yeah, okay, so we read that part. They mentioned the Martin Shkreli case in supporting, both sides agreed that they did not want the press at the sidebar. And the judge also just granted that and agreed. We learned today that they were going to add 2 lawyers to Diddy's roster, and that's going to happen today. We're going to get that news today. They asked Diddy about the plea deal. Did he reject a written plea offer? And he said yes to the judge. Yes, I did. Breaking news. Diddy has admitted out loud in court. Yes, he did. He was the one that rejected it. Yes, I did. The judge said, what about the gag order? And then they were like, shut Lisa Bloom up. And he was like, okay, I'm not going to do a gag order, but there's already something in place. So make sure everybody's following the rules. Okay, adjourned. See you Monday. The judge said, if you can support, can I link this? I want to link this so that y'all can go and click and follow Inner City Press on all his platforms, because that is how I'm able to even do these. This is how I'm going to be able to do it, because he's going to be in there live tweeting. So y'all go over there and show him a little bit of support if you can, please, because this is very important work. Okay, so I guess that's all it really was. I'm going to try to figure out, just for my own curiosity, exactly what is going on with this questionnaire. Maybe I'll just look it up, what to expect. But by next Monday, not this coming up Monday, but the one after that, we're going to be doing opening statements. It's going to be full-blown actual trial. Okay, but technically, I guess tomorrow's first day of trial, but it's a jury, voir dire or whatever. So maybe I'll make a little video about that. What do I have here? Thanks so much, Melanie Green. Thank you so much for the $13.99 super sticker Canadian. I'm trying to do, my Canadian accent. What are they? Sorry. I know that's a way you can sound like you're Canadian, as if you pronounce sorry like that. I need to tip email. I think I have a legit tip. Okay, it's thatsurprisewitness@gmail.com. How long was the plea deal? I don't know anything. Casey's asking about the plea deal. How long was the plea deal? I have no idea. We do not know anything about this plea deal. So be interesting to find out. Wonder if one of the new attorneys is someone who represented Clive Davis. That's kind of specific. Mark Garagos. Okay, that makes sense. So D. Wayne said Mark Garagos is one of the lawyers. We do know this guy. He is rumored to be a PR master. He's rumored to be. But his daughter, Teeny Garagos, has been on the case from, I believe, the beginning. I'm a boom and only I don't know what that says. Thanks so much for your updates. I've had to pull back the last couple of months from social media. You're my go-to girl. Shout out to you, real sassafras. Yeah. So I'm so curious who the attorneys will be. Let me just look it up. I'll say like Diddy's gonna get 2 new lawyers or something. Let's see. Brian Steele, we already got. The only thing I'm seeing is Brian Steele. Oh, look at this article, y'all. I don't know if it's true or not. You know, they lie. They just lie. Like everything in the media just got there from somebody's PR agent. Okay, just don't ever forget that. But look, Diddy, let me turn on reader view. This is from the Blast from April 16th. Diddy is reportedly urgently seeking a black female attorney to join his legal team as trial draws near. Sean Diddy Combs is reportedly in search of a black female lawyer. Who could it be? To join his legal team, less than 3 weeks before his criminal trial commences, the embattled rapper was recently slammed with 2 more charges as reports suggest his infamous freak-off party videos could be brought up in court. This comes after a report shared some insight into Sean Diddy Combs' prison lifestyle, including the kind of currency he uses while locked up. Yeah, they said he was trading cans of tuna fish. According to TMZ report, Diddy is looking to add a black female lawyer to his defense team. Well, let's go there if that's the exclusive. Yeah, exclusive. Who's surprised? The exclusive came from TMZ. He wants a black woman in his corner to win his federal trial begins in less than 3 weeks. That's why he's searching for a new attorney to add to his defense team. Sources with direct knowledge. Who is that? Who knows? Tell TMZ Diddy's lawyers are searching for a black female attorney to join his current trial team of Mark gnifilo and Teeny Garagos. Keep in mind, oh my God, that they did her dirty. They did her. Teeny, I would sue them. I would sue them, Teeny. They did her so dirty. Mark too a little bit, but they did Teeny dirty. Keep in mind, the mogul's attorneys have already raised race as a critical part of his defense, including the feds are trying to take down a rich, successful black man. Okay, this right here, TMZ reporting inaccurately based on what I've been able to see, because the government, last time I checked, last time I read, the government had given this argument up. Diddy had given this argument up. He did not, he said it, one of these recent hearings, his lawyers said they do not plan to bring up any defense. Girl, I don't need an SBA loan, please. I think a picture of him from the surveillance footage. Oh no, that's from him being detained. Mark and Teeny are both white, so that could be why Diddy is looking to diversify his panel of counselors. But we're told this new addition is not just for appearances, and the new attorney must have the legal chops to tackle what's sure to be a hard-fought case. Our sources say high-powered attorney Mark Garagos is also going to have a significant role in Diddy's case. Regardless of who else Diddy finds to join his personal dream team, we're told Mark and Teeny will continue to be lead counsel. Okay, so maybe he was successful. Maybe he was successful in finding a black lady to be his lawyer. I mean, I don't know. Erica said, I'm hoping not. Thanks so much, Velvet Brown. That is very kind of you. They did do her dirty. I know, because she's like a normal looking, like pretty lady. Like Teeny is not like grotesque looking. They like chose the worst picture. Mark is partnered up with Harvey doing a podcast. Wait a second. Mark who? Not Agnifilo. Harvey who? Mark and Harvey who? Wait, you mean, hold on, talking about. I need more info. Who? Mark who and Harvey who? That's what I need. And isn't Gloria Albright does not know. No, I don't know anything what you're talking about right here. No. If it's Fannie Willis, I'm out. Who are Diddy's peers to be the jury? Is Meek Mill pulling up? You know, this is one of the things I do remember talking about in law school. You have a constitutional right to a jury of your peers. But what if you're a businessman? Does that mean you get 12 businessmen on your jury? No, that's not what that means. Gargoyle. Harvey Levin at TMZ. It is. It's Priest Brooklyn said Diddy needs women on his team. It's all visuals from day one. And it's true. It has a lot to do with psychological first impressions. It has a lot to do with a lot of stuff. Now, we're not supposed to make decisions based on these things as jurors, right? The jurors aren't supposed to. The lawyers aren't supposed to, but they do. And if they get caught making a race-based decision for like a juror, they could get in trouble. You're not supposed to be able to base keeping a juror in or out based on their race. Did you know that? Also have YouTube and Substack. Okay, cool. The lawyers want that money before the government seizes it. Oh my God, you're funny. Oh my gosh, stop it. Harvey Levin and Mark Garagos have a podcast together called Two Angry Men. That'll fit nicely in the web. Oh, I can't wait to binge watch that. Oh my God, playing catch up, working finance. Yes, Slay. We got some deadlines popping. More defense lawyers. Ooh, truly trying and all the money. Yeah. So I'm going to check that out. That's all I really had for this one though, y'all. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation. Love you, meet it. Okay, bye.
Wow. Most definitely, man. Hey, so basically, there are people in the courtroom. I am going to try my best to get up to New York. I'll probably stay at least about 45 minutes away from downtown Manhattan. Get me an Uber. 30 minutes away, 20 minutes away. Get an Uber, go into Manhattan, film, see what's happening, and then come on back. I'm looking for somebody to go with me. 2 or 3 days, 3 days in the hotel. I got a buddy of mine. I got a couple of buddies I call. Man, anyway, y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Hey, y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. We're going to stay on top of this thing all the way. I'm going to try to bring the latest information along with the surprise witness. Trust me, girl, I'm nowhere near tired of your channel. Love your channel to death. Appreciate you and all the stuff that you do. Appreciate all my subscribers. Y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Let me know if you're an ender. If you're an ender, meaning you hear my voice right now, hey, tell them, say, Uncle Mike, going up to that Diddy courtroom. I ain't got nothing else to do. I'm gonna take my cameras, take my cell phone, and just film something. I know they ain't gonna let me in. They ain't gonna let me in, but I just want to show y'all some unique footage that's coming from the Music Recording Network. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell me Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.